the day.
It's Monday, which means it's time for our weekly box office report, brought to you by our friends at AMC Theatres. Coming in at number one for the fourth time is the Matt Damon film The Martian. The film brought in another $11.4 million to bring its 5-week total up to $428 million worldwide. Still holding on to the number two spot is the Jack Black film Goosebumps, which took in $10.2 million to bring its worldwide numbers up to $66 million. Holding on to the number three spot is the Tom Hanks film Bridge of Spies, bringing in another $8 million. Climbing up from its fifth place finish last week is Hotel Transylvania 2, taking the number 4 spot with $5.8 million. And rounding out the top 5 is the new Bradley Cooper film Burnt. The new film brought in just over $5 million in its opening weekend. John, what stands out to you about this week's box office report?
Well, I mean, a couple things stand out. The Martian, once again, number one. A couple of, I think Dennis and I both predicted it would still be number one, and we both predicted Goosebumps would still be number two. I think my top 5 fell apart after that. So, once again, The Martian only dropping like 27% again, and going from its fourth into its fifth week. Impressive numbers. Goosebumps only dropping 34%. Bridge of Spies only dropping like 28%. But for the second week in a row, we have a brand new batch of brand new movies that have bombed. Burnt. Now, I know they weren't expecting huge numbers out of Burnt, but $5 million for a Bradley Cooper starring film after what they got with the American Sniper, you know they were hoping for much better than that. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse made $1.7 million. It opened on 1,000 less screens than Gem and the Holograms, and it still made more money. So there's that. But speaking of Gem and the Holograms, here's the thing that really stood out to me, okay? First of all, talking about last week's failures, Rock the Casbah and Gem and the Holograms. In just its second week of release, with Bruce Willis, Bill Murray, some big names, Rock the Casbah, which is still in over 2,000 theaters, in its second week, dropped 76% to make $353,000. Gem and the Hologram, still playing on over 2,400 screens, dropped 78% to make $290,000. Gem and the Holograms has made a grand total in 2 weeks, in wide release, of $1.9 million. Both Rock the Casbah and Gem and the Holograms dropped more than 50 Shades of Grey did. Because everybody was talking, that was the big story. 50 Shades of Grey dropped 70%. What a disaster. And it is. That's a terrible number. So a lot of futility here. I believe, I have to double check my facts, but I think this weekend, and not a lot of people are surprised. I think some people are expecting this, but this weekend was the lowest box office weekend in 2015 so far. Got a feeling that's going to change when a little film called Spectre opens up next weekend. Right. But those are the things that stand out to me. Mark, what about you?
Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you enjoyed going out trick-or-treating and not going to the movies, which actually helped make The Martian stay at number one, which is awesome because The Martian has been at number one for 4 weeks. Not 4 weeks in a row because it's actually been out for 5 weeks. It got bumped from the top spot, I believe, by Goosebumps.
For 1 week.
And then it came right back, and it deservedly so is the number one movie again. What stands out to me is that Paranormal Activity, it really hurt itself by coming out on VOD the same time that it was released in theaters.
Yes, it did.
And a lot of fans pointed that out to me because I thought it would do a lot better than it did. It was only playing on like 1,500 screens, and I think that with a name as big as Paranormal Activity, it would have done a lot better in theaters if they had just kept it as a theatrical release, then done VOD later. Something like Gem and the Holograms, Rock the Casbah, the advertising was terrible. And with Burnt, it wasn't a horribly marketed movie. It just wasn't as widely marketed as I thought I might see it. I thought I might see more ads for Burnt all over the place on TV. A star like Bradley Cooper, or even a star like Tom Hanks, who's in Bridge of Spies, you can't open a movie just on star power anymore. It's very rare to see a movie open with the lead person on the poster, and that's why you go see the movie. Something like The Martian, which was sold as a great story that happens to have a great cast, is the way you sell a movie these days.
Shep, what stood out to you?
The failures of all these other films. It's like, it feels like, aren't we doing the box office 3 weeks ago? These are the same films, literally, with just one other film.
The Martian, Goosebumps, and Bridge of Spies have been 1, 2, and 3 for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, so it feels, I feel really bad for all that. It seems like October's where you go to dump the films. You're like, well, I don't know if we're ever going to make money. Throw it out around Halloween. It doesn't matter. Or you're right. The VOD versus film release day and date release date, it's going to start having a big effect on smaller films. I don't see it as having a big effect on larger films, especially event films, because those probably aren't going to do day and date release because those are the films that you're going to go out and see in the theater. But, but I would go see Bone Tomahawk if you haven't seen that. That's a fantastic film.
I'm a little bit surprised going to the ones that actually opened this. We talked a little bit about the failures of the films that opened last weekend. Burnt was 3 wide release films opening this week, and it came in 5th. So a little disappointed with that. We mentioned Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Came in 12th place with 1.7 million. I really thought it would do better than that, especially considering it was Halloween weekend.
Right.
I think the marketing's been really good, and I thought the film deserved a little bit better than. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to make 10 million or 15 million or anything like that, but I thought 7 was reasonable for it, and it didn't get there. The one I'm really surprised by, though, is the new Sandra Bullock, Billy Bob Thornton film, Our Brand is Crisis, coming in 8th place on its opening weekend, making 3.4 million on over 2,000 screens. I expected much better than that. I expected much better than that. I thought it was going to be in the top 5. I didn't have it in my number 1 or number 2 positions or anything like that, but I thought it would do better than 3.
I'll tell you what, it's a horrible poster. It might be the worst poster I've ever seen.
Bad
Sandra Bullock
poster.
just throwing her hands like this Billy Bob Thornton creepily leering at her. It's one of the worst posters I've ever seen. It tells you nothing about what the hell the movie is. I didn't hate the movie. I actually liked Our Brand is Crisis, but again, marketing a movie, that's everything these days. And Halloween weekend is, if Halloween is on a weekend, it's like the Super Bowl weekend, where you can almost just scratch a day off of your box office receipts because nobody's going to the movies on Saturday night because everybody's out at a party or trick-or-treating.
That's true, and I didn't even think Our Brand is Crisis opened yet. I mean, it was like sort of the trailers made me so disinterested in seeing the film that I didn't even realize it opened.
See, and I'm a little bit different because I actually like the trailers quite a bit, but this is one of those situations where the trailer, I didn't see the first trailer until 3 weeks before release. Now, I often talk about people start freaking out. It's 7 months till the movie comes out and we haven't seen a trailer. Should we be worried? Relax, it's 7 months. But I mean, John Wick was 1 month out and that worked. I didn't see this one until about 3 weeks out. Maybe like 3 weeks, 4 weeks is a little too last minute to put them out, but then again, it's about how much they want to spend on the marketing campaign, I suppose.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.